Uh, what the fuck, dude? Okay, wow. What a That's definitely one way to usher in the 20s of this show. Shit. Let's get the other stuff out of the way before I get into the main point part. The thing that most people are gonna remember about this episode. Fuck. Hizuru uses a pretty interesting strategy to take on Shide. She transfers Ryunosuke into Shide's body in order to destroy him from the inside. Very reminiscent of the power of Ryo from One Piece, if you know about that. So that was pretty cool. It actually allowed Ryunosuke to create a body for himself using his data and the armor, the shadow armor that Shide uses. So at that point, it's like, okay, brother and sister might actually be reunited. Tokiko shows up and we get a cut. Now, honestly, I don't really know much about what's going on with the second Shide that was with Mio and Shinpei. They said it's a human clone, so that's probably going to be clarified at some point. Yeah, I'm not too sure what's going on with that, because obviously it's not a shadow, and obviously it's not the original Shide. Hizuru also tries to sow seeds of resentment and doubt between Shide and Haine by saying that Shide's goal is actually different than Haine's, and that he might be cooking something up on the back end trying to accomplish his own goals. And Haine looks at Shide a little bit weird. Not for too long because they're in the middle of a battle, but you can tell that this is probably going to be a plot point that's going to be explored and be a major factor in defeating these two. Probably more important for separating them, as we come to find out Ryunosuke, or rather Hizuru, wants Shinpei to save Haine. So we get a loop this episode. Shinpei has to loop again, and this was the last one that he could do. He shows up right after Haine, who was posing as Shinpei, called Mio, and Totsumura told them to shut off their phones right in the nick of time before they were devoured in the cave. But even then, it was not enough. So they were able to loop back and make it to Torajima with the help of Tokiko, who ended up dying. And they come to find out Hizuru lost. Shide is one hell of a villain, man. I just gotta give hats off. If Haine is the more complex villain with a much deeper backstory and a lot more nuance to her, especially since we might be trying to save her now from Shide is that just pure evil character. So I think those two work together really well. I like the dynamic, and it's a little bit of a Naruto situation, isn't it? With Zetsu and Madara and Kaguya. If you know what happens in Naruto, I'm not going to spoil it, even though it's Naruto. If you haven't watched it by now, you're probably never going to watch it. But yeah, Shide is essentially the Zetsu of the situation, while Haine is Madara, I guess. Shide might end up being the ultimate enemy, even though we thought Haine was originally going to be that. He's ruthless, he's evil, he's merciless, and he showed that this episode. But it seems like Ushio might still be alive. We see the light shine, and that ultimately causes them to retreat. Seems like Haine is actually pretty scared of Ushio, and I can see why. Every time they fought, or at least in the most recent times, Ushio has won. It's taken Shide to have a sneak attack or use a sneak attack in order to put her down, but Ushio has only gotten stronger. So if she's alive, she's probably gonna show up pretty soon. We cannot loop back, and because we can't loop back anymore, we can't save Hizuru. I just realized this whole time I was not going through the episode like I usually do, but I did say everything I want to say before I get to the main point of this episode. Obviously, the stuff with the fight, the first 10 seconds were amazing. Can't loop back again. And she ends up using Ryunosuke to create the shadow version of him, but obviously that doesn't work either. It takes a toll on her. Actually, I forgot to mention that it takes a toll on her of removing the data from herself. So that makes sense because they were pretty much joined at that point. The stuff with this Shide clone, I'm not too sure about, so we'll get clarification on that later. They loop again. This is the iconic scene from the first opening, or we also saw it at the end of this episode, so technically we saw it twice, but they loop again. They show up. They were able to stop Mio and Totsumura. They pull up on Torajima in a pretty cool way. And they yeah, this is what they see. So Hizuru is dead, man. And you could tell pretty early on in the episode by the way she was talking. It seemed like she was saying her final last words. Shinpei goes to kill himself, but Mio stops him because they know if he tries to do that, the event horizon is gonna pass him, and he's just gonna end up stuck in the between world. I gotta say, when the piano music kicked in, Hizuru's pleading Shinpei to save Haine. We're getting to see flashbacks of her past. It's just that just hits so hard, man. Like, just look at this. Just look at this. This is just, you can see like the realization on Shinpei's face that I really can't save this person. And this is the first time in this series that Shinpei has been unable to loop back and save someone. Think about that. Everyone else is alive except Hizuru, and he can't even go back and save her. That's got to be devastating. It's hard to believe because we've seen people get revived and saved time and time again, but once more episodes come out and Hizuru is not there and can't be saved, then I think it'll hit a little bit more. Right now it's a little bit of a shock. It's crazy to think that just when she would have been reunited with her brother Ryunosuke with his new shadow form, you know, reunited in a physical sense, she dies. So I wonder if Ryunosuke is still going to be in his shadow form, or if he died with her. Not too sure about that. We'll get clarification. Ushio's still alive, but rest in peace Hizuru, man. The first person to pass away in this show permanently. Why did they take Totsumura, man? Why her, bro? Oh my god. But yeah, that's the episode. I'm broken. It's hard to process for the reasons I said. But Hizuru has definitely left a lasting impact on our characters. I think her character arc was amazing. She definitely put up a really good fight. Hopefully she's reunited with her brother in some sort of data sense. I don't know, at the end of the episode, at the end of the season. See how broken my brain is. I just can't even process what happened this episode. But we can't loop again, or at least not immediately, unless maybe we survive a day or two. Even then, I don't think it's possible. We're way too close to the festival. Our only hope is for Ushio to somehow return. We'll see, man. We'll see. 4 more episodes left of this show, or 5 more episodes left, and I think every single one is going to be meaningful. So that's it. I'm done. I can't. My brain is broken from that. I gotta shut down. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video and this episode, drop me a like, hit that sub button, and I will catch you guys next week. Peace.